Happy Thursday.
Hello, everybody.
Hello
Welcome
again.
back.
Welcome back. I am Paige.
And I'm Cindy.
And this is Mom's the Word.
Where Mom knows best.
Or at least she's trying her best.
Sure am. How y'all doing out there?
We're tired today.
We're tired. It's almost Christmas time, everybody.
It is. Oh my gosh. Didn't it come like so fast?
Literally.
This came so fast this year. I love Christmas time personally. Every year, Christmas is one of my favorites ever.
Same.
But I do something every single Christmas that I think a lot of you do not know about, is that I help out with Spread the Cheer, a charitable organization. I take Christmas gifts. I get a allotted amount of money per family, and I get a little list of all the things that they like, and I get to go shopping, and then I get to deliver it to
Amazing.
them, which is why today we invited the beautiful Danielle Claudio, who is the CEO, or what would you say your title is?
Technically, I'm the president.
Okay.
Because I'm on the board.
Okay,
Yes.
so the president of Spread the Cheer charitable organization, or I think a lot of people would know it as the Cheer Choice Awards. I think more people hear the Cheer Choice Awards, so that's what they think that's all you guys do. So we wanted to invite Danielle here because
Thanks for
she's
being here.
Thank you for having me.
Just
Yeah.
got off a plane.
Like literally, I went to the hotel and very rapidly changed, and then came directly here to see you guys.
Okay, so tell us why because we do this around every Thanksgiving. For those that don't know, it is the 22nd of November. So we are about to tomorrow go over to Minnie's Food Pantry. Yeah. We do that every year. Tell them, what do we do? What do we do with Spread the Cheer for that?
Goodness. So we partner with Minnie's Food Pantry, and we've been doing that for a few years now. And it's so great. And it would just, that connection happened very organically. And we love it. And so we bring like an entire team. I think we have 17 of us.
So many of us this time. It's grown.
It's
definitely
how are we going to
grown.
all fit in a tent?
In that tiny tent.
Yeah,
we're
we're
going
gonna
to be fighting over the boxes.
We need
I'm
multiple
excited. I get
tents.
to join this year,
Yeah.
so I'm excited to be there.
Yeah, it's your first year,
It
right?
is my first year there, yep.
Yeah. So last year we went with Mama Tot and Jill and who else was there with us?
Not very many.
Was it just us?
Yeah, there was not
Okay.
very many of us.
Yeah. Last year it was just like 4 of us, I think.
So why
I feel bad
Dallas?
if I'm leaving
5
someone
or
out.
6. But,
I'm leaving people out for
there's
sure.
a few, but it wasn't
Mark
like
was
it
there.
is this time.
No, he wasn't there.
No, he wasn't.
No, because he was with the kids.
Correct.
Well, it's growing even more this year, then,
Yeah.
so that's great.
But
why Dallas was my question.
so Minnie's Food Pantry is in Plano, and they feed like full turkeys and meals. There was like 10,000 cars that came through there last year. It was like wrapped around the entire what interstate is that? I don't even know, but it was miles.
It was all the way to 75. It's extremely
That's wild.
successful thing, and you get a whole turkey, a box that has like rice, stuffing, cranberry,
like the
green
whole
beans,
9
like
yards.
the whole Thanksgiving dinner, so that people who are worried about where are we going to get money to even have this holiday family dinner, they don't have to worry about that.
Do they have to
get a
sign up
box
for that?
I'm not really sure what the process
do.
is, but there is
Okay.
some
They
sort of
didn't just
vetting.
show up. Okay.
Yeah, they have to pre-register on Minnie's website, and then what we typically do is we ask, their team, hey, do you have any other families that we can go that need a little extra cheer this year? And so as a nonprofit organization who spreads cheer during the holidays, we usually go, like last year, Cheryl, who is now the president of Minnie's, she had this one volunteer who we actually ended up surprising her and her kids with a whole weekend at Great Wolf Lodge.
Oh my gosh,
like a
awesome.
massage for her
Yeah.
and like just some toys and clothes and stuff that they needed.
Yeah.
And then we surprised her there after the event. So she
Yeah.
volunteered for like stuffing
That's
and putting it all
amazing.
together,
Yeah.
and then she had no idea. So that's what we do here, and it's
Yeah, I was
really
gonna say,
really rewarding.
I think a lot of people, especially we're on TikTok where we're at social media, they do just hear of Cheer Choice Awards, right? But I would like to know like more of like what is Spread the Cheer? Why did you start it? And like just have a little background about it.
Yeah, of course. So I mean, I tell this story a lot, but I don't often talk about like myself or that, on my own personal social media platforms like that. But Spread the Cheer started very organically back in December of 2020. I was going through a really rough time, and I just wanted a way to take my mind off of that space. And so I decided to personally help 3 families for Christmas, and made that like a personal vow to myself. And at the time, I had like a pretty small following on TikTok. And I said, you know what, let me put this out and just see, maybe someone else wants to help and we can help more families. And so we did that. And within just a couple weeks, we had raised $12,000. We were able to help 20 families all across the country. And actually, Paige was involved in that very first campaign before we were even officially Spread the Cheer USA.
Wow.
And we surprised
A young little girl.
Yeah.
That had been through a real tragic time. It was incredible. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, it was.
Super
it was
neat to be part of.
Yeah, and so I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Like I knew in that moment that it was something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And so the very next month, we just turned it into a 501c3, and we've been growing and at a very rapid rate over the last few years and doing more campaigns and more give backs, and it's just really fun.
So a gist of it is helping families. Like that's the overall.
Yeah, our mission officially is spreading cheer to those in need around the country during the holidays and beyond.
Love that.
And you don't just do it just during the holidays.
No, it's evolved.
Yeah, it's
sure.
a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Can you talk about some of the things that
Yeah,
you
I
do
would love to hear.
in ways that you give back?
Yeah, so we started around Christmas, and then Thanksgiving, Easter, and then since then we've added a back to school campaign where we give entire elementary schools, middle
my
schools,
gosh.
all of their school supplies, backpacks, that kind of stuff. And then we have we've done Spread the Smiles, where we've completely given people in complete smile makeovers with the help of a dentist out in Chicago. We've done, obviously, Spread the Meals, which is our unsheltered individual campaign where we make sure that everyone has food, all the homeless, unsheltered individuals. And that happens all over the country. We've fed tens of thousands of people now over the years.
Incredible. So it's turned into something way bigger than you even imagined.
Way bigger. Yeah, I had no idea,
Yeah. That's really cool. I feel like it's super special. Like you started as something you just wanted to do good for yourself, and now people just jumped on board.
Yeah, it really started kind of from like a selfish place, actually, because I was like, I need to get myself out of this space and be there for my kids and, show them that, just because I'm like sad and depressed that I don't have to stay there.
Yeah.
And, and then it has turned into this.
That's really cool.
That's wonderful. How about how many families do you feel like you guys help during the Christmas time? About how many families do you choose for the campaign? And can you explain kind of what they get and what happens?
Yeah, so like for instance, this year we're going through that process right now. Thank God for all of our volunteers because it is so much work. We literally watch every family has to submit a video, a 2-minute long video, and tell us, their circumstances. And we as a board sit there for hours and watch every single video and, determine whether we can fulfill their needs or not. And then once we try to narrow it down, we got like 100 and some nominations for families this year. We've narrowed it down to 50, which it's really, really hard to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really hard because who are
You
we
wanna help
really to
everybody.
determine who is in need and not? It's hard.
Yeah.
And so we do it based on our budget, really, of what we can afford to help people with. So this year we're estimating, right now we're at 30 grand to help give presents. We really want to make sure that all the kids are taken care of. So if a family requests, hey, I just need like toys for my kids and they need a coat and they need boots, we definitely always help those types of people. And then a lot of the time we get bigger things like, hey, I can't pay my rent. My lights have been shut off for a month, like those types of things. And we try to, reach out to the utility companies or whatever we can do to try to help. And so we've done all sorts of things. We've even paid off funeral expenses for a mom who lost her son. It was heartbreaking. It made me emotional, just that whole thing, because, she literally couldn't even afford to get her son, like, the casket or the headstone or anything. And so, and they wouldn't do the funeral and do all of it without her paying everything off.
Yeah, it's true.
Sad. Wow. It was so sad.
Such a hard place to be in, too, whenever you've gone through such loss, and then you're trying to think of how in the world do I even come up with the ability to do this. So that's incredible. What other things do y'all do besides just the Christmas stuff? Because I know a lot of people are like, where do y'all put things out in?
Yeah, I know a lot of people have that question. Like, I've seen a lot even in my comment section. Like, what we're donating for you to have points, to get votes. Where is this money actually going? You know what I mean? Like, I guess people really want a breakdown, which you don't have to give, but I'm just wondering if you could explain to them a little more when they are voting for us or even sending in donation. Where's that money going to go to?
Because they also pay for the award show, but I think a lot of people think they're paying to see the award show, and they're not realizing you're literally donating to a charity.
Yeah. So all of the votes go 100% to. Obviously, there's a cost to put on an award show, right? But the Palms is so great with working with us. It's very low compared to what it should be, right? And then so everything as a 501c3, everything is completely public. Like you get scrutinized. Any little thing you do wrong, gets looked at. And and so, we budget throughout the year. Obviously, we're a newer nonprofit. Like our Christmas campaign's the largest, right? And then like Thanksgiving, we'll go and we'll give money back. Like we're probably going to plan to go to the grocery store like we did last time and go pay for groceries.
That's one of my favorite things is we'll just go to a grocery store and randomly pick people to pay for their groceries. I love it.
Yeah. So that's really enjoyable, but we try to budget throughout the year, right? Like our back to school campaign is a big expense. The Easter thing we do, and we also give to other nonprofits. So
that a lot of people I was going to ask.
A lot of people don't know that
I've seen you do it. I've seen the checks presented, but it's not really ever extremely, I would say, viral. Y'all make it public, but it's not like everybody sees it. Whereas like everybody hears cheer choice, cheer choice, cheer choice. They don't do the research on like what else happens.
Yeah, so we've donated to other nonprofits, smaller organizations. We've worked with other organizations to fulfill their needs. Like Tom Coverly, Culture Shock, the Real Youth Foundation out in LA, which I'm going to be going out to next month for Christmas to also support that. So there's a ton of stuff we do, and like I said, it is all on our website if people wanted more information. Too.
Yeah. So I feel like everybody on social media see the Cheer Choice Awards. It's like the biggest thing that is shown because there's so many of us sharing it that they have like an opinion of what goes on there, right?
Or they just think it's just an award show.
Yeah, they
just
think
a silly TikTok award show.
No, well, that's the biggest thing that I got. Like, well, of course you didn't win. This is just a silly thing. And I would say like, well, you was actually like they're raising money for families. And they're like, oh, really? They don't say that. I'm like, well, yeah, they do. If you were to look at it. Yeah. And I think like, so I feel like the award show to me is important, but like, do you feel like you've had to deal with backlash from that award show because you're dealing with so many creators?
Anyone who has a lot of negative things to say about it, honestly, it doesn't affect me because I know what the point is and where my heart's at and where the dozens of volunteers that come every year where their hearts are at. If people have negative stuff to say about it, it's really because they're just uneducated. Because
let's be for real. How could you be upset about a silly, fun award show that genuinely only benefits other families?
And the people that come, honestly.
It's such a fun time. I've explained it to so many people before. They're like, what is it like? And I'm like, if you are a theater nerd, it is like going back to theater camp. Like when we were in high school, because everybody's cool with you shooting content. Nobody's embarrassed to be in front of the video camera. Everybody's dancing and making silly sounds and doing fun things. And it's just such a warm and inviting environment if you make it that way. Now, I have seen some people who come and they are determined to be like, that this is awful and this isn't what everybody says that it is. And so they'll really get into that mindset of just being, for lack of better words, a hater.
Or they hate one creator that's there, and then the whole thing, I guess the whole thing is, garbage.
Yes.
When that's not true at all. Like, we're all there, to support. Of course, we're excited to be there because we were nominated, but at the same time, I'm like, well, we're supporting this huge thing right now.
Absolutely. So. Don't get me wrong. It's super cool to be nominated, and it feels amazing to be like validated that like, oh, y'all see me, because frankly, I'm never going to be invited to like an influencer award ceremony, So like in my small pocket of the internet, this is what I have and this is what I enjoy, and I get to do it and it benefits other people. And so I
That's really
genuinely love it. I think it's one of the coolest things
and
ever.
that is what it is all about. You know, when we first started, obviously it's a learning experience. You know, I didn't know what I was doing. You know, people think that this is put on like sometimes by TikTok or like
Yeah.
this big
That's a
production
huge one.
company.
Yeah.
TikTok has nothing to do with it, and in fact, it's supposed to be for all social media platforms, not just TikTok. Obviously, you know, that's where a lot of the promotion ends up going.
Yeah.
But, you know, when it first started, we had the fact that we were able to honor smaller creators and the people that were just behind the scenes, you know, putting in hard work that no one was seeing and no one was getting that recognition that I thought that they deserved too. And so to be able to have, you know, a smaller creator's peers support them and actually for them to have a chance to actually win and be represented on stage, that to me I think was the most appealing thing about it. There's no other award show out there that's doing those types of things, you know. It's either you have to have millions of followers, you have to be somebody on social media, and this not only, you know, gives smaller creators and all creators a chance to be seen and honored and celebrated for the positive things that they're doing to, you know, to affect other people's lives, but it's also raising money for charity so that we can continue to do what we're doing. And that's really all it's about.
What is that weekend like for somebody that's never been? What is it like? What do you do? I can tell you all
What do
this.
I do?
Well, what would we do?
I'm like in a coma half the time. No, it's just such a cool vibe and such a cool energy, because if you haven't been, it's just all really about people coming together to do something greater than themselves. And, you know, you get to see these people that you see in videos online in person, and you get to hug them and you get to talk and laugh and eat food together. And, you know, and we try to make it like a weekend long thing so that people can come and they know it's like their thing every year, and they have the ability to come see people and you know, just do fun things. You know, we have a lot. We're doing this year casino night instead on Friday. So that's
instead of the comedy night, we're doing a casino night.
Yeah. So
Period?
yeah. So we're gonna have a bunch of blackjack and roulette and craps, and everyone can come and play, and they'll win prizes instead of money, and all the chip. Money that is purchasable, also everything, obviously literally 100% of all of the net proceeds after we pay for the show is all going to Spread the Cheer or other organizations that we can help support throughout the year.
Awesome.
It's wonderful. And then of course we have the awards show, which is fun. It's a lot of fun, especially if you get to be a part of it. At least I think it's fun as a theater nerd.
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this, but I have anxiety like so bad, especially like social anxiety around a lot of people. So for me, that part is traumatizing.
Really? You're
Isn't
always
that crazy?
so calm.
Isn't
and
that crazy?
backstage, you're just like always. I can picture your shimmery blue dress.
Oh,
and
that
you're
was
just
a good dress.
It was a great dress.
I lucked out
It was
with that
such
dress.
a good
You
dress.
looked beautiful though too.
Thank you.
Yeah, you
the
guys,
sequins
everyone
on my
did.
dress were eating my arm, so
don't
never
you
wear.
hate that?
Yeah, never wear
Honestly,
a
it
sequin
felt
dress
like
again.
so
but
legit. Like that opening number with Tia, I was like,
dancing,
where am I?
yeah.
You know what's
The opening
crazy?
number was
Can
so
you
good.
can you like, for the people watching, like, can you imagine having to like choreograph and organize and
It was
practice
amazing.
over like Zoom and like
Yeah.
figure that out? You
Yeah.
know, people
was
don't
amazing.
understand the amount of work and hours. Like, this is a year-long project,
Yeah.
right? And then, you know, we love when everyone comes and they have a good time, but to then like, if for those negative people that sit there and question what we're doing, and it just bothers the heck out of me sometimes,
bet
you
it
know,
does.
because they don't
Well,
understand
what are you doing?
the hours.
Yes,
The
yes.
hours
Yeah.
that I put in, like our blood, sweat, and tears, you know, Jill and the whole team
Yeah.
that we put in every day to
Yeah.
make it work.
While you're feeling like this, I'm going to ask you a question. There are speculators online,
boy.
or at least there is. I have seen one. I've been tagged in a video a couple of times from a woman that is like, this charity makes over $250,000 a year, and they're not putting any of the money out. How do you feel about people who...
People can go look at our 990 and see
like,
what
I
we're
have-
putting
I have
out.
receipts.
What's in the
Receipts.
bank account,
Yeah.
what's going where. Yeah, it's all there. It has
so
to
it
be.
is public, just so...
We have an annual report actually on our website.
Period.
Spreadthecheerusa.org if you guys want to go check that out.
Yeah, because I have been told like, oh, we just wait for her to post receipts, and it's like, well,
You know that
they're
stuff only
always
happens
accessible.
on TikTok?
Yes,
You
I do know. I
Like
do.
Instagram, you don't see people making videos. It's just
TikTok.
TikTok.
I feel like it was
unfortunately.
kind of like sad after because I really enjoyed myself. It was my
Yeah.
first time ever being acknowledged for anything. I've been on the internet a long time and I work really hard and share my life. And so when I went there, people would act like it was a joke. And
Yeah.
it made me really sad because they didn't like certain creators, it was a joke for all of us. And I was like, actually, there's a lot of great people who were here, who work hard on their videos, and this is so fun for us to be a part of.
Yeah.
And I feel like when they say things, like, what is this really? Or y'all just, it really, it hurts the whole message because I'm just like, that makes me sad. Like, I enjoyed myself and like, it was fun to be celebrated and then also give back to, the spread the cheer.
Yeah.
And so like, I feel like that really is like a hard thing, whereas like, I like that you're speaking on it and talking about it because what you're doing is amazing. And it's cool to be a part of it. So-
Here's the thing, in life in general, and especially on social media, there will always be a balance of negativity and positivity,
Right.
and that's in everything that you do,
Absolutely.
and the people that I think that are negative about it are just not educated on what. I invite anyone who has, skepticism about what we're doing to come with me, volunteer as an elf and go show up at a person's doorstep that has nothing and
Yeah.
they don't think they're going to be able to give their kids Christmas. And then
Yeah.
you tell me if you think that it's just a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
It's one of the most fulfilling things ever. And then I did that long before I was ever at Cheer Choice
Yeah.
Awards. Is we did the Santa giveaways, and it was just it. I still do it. I've done it every year, and it's probably one of my favorite things to do.
Mine too.
Genuinely, because you can just see the relief flood over them as you provide them with these things. I think last year I got to take a single mom, and she had two children, a young daughter and then a teenage son, and the teenage son was walking to school each day, and so I went and I bought him a bicycle, and he was just like, that's my bike.
Yeah.
And just
they're
like
so grateful.
so happy.
Yeah, I cry every year.
time.
Every time I do
Every
it.
time.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it's we have all sorts of families, all sorts of people from all walks of life, and there's nothing like it. And so, I for me, if someone doesn't see that and if they don't understand that, then they themselves probably are in need of something, that they're
Yeah,
lacking.
yeah.
They need love, they need a hug, they need something, and
Yeah.
so that's what this is all about for me is to try to change that negative narrative and focus on the positive aspects. So it really doesn't bother me that much. Like you will never
Yeah.
see me respond to, I get sent videos, often, but I will never ever respond because that's exactly the opposite of the mission and the goals that I have.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That's how you have to be.
Yeah.
The message that you're spreading is important for you to hold that message first. And if you were to respond, they're going to be like, well, what? Like, I don't know. I appreciate that because I also do not respond to
Yeah,
people.
I don't think you should because they want that attention. And, I feel like sometimes it's like my 6-year-old, like, when he doesn't get what he wants, he just keeps pushing. And,
Yeah.
and if I give into it and give him that attention, it just makes it worse. And, the thing is like Jill actually, who's here in the studio, but she's not on the microphone, but, she's like my right-hand woman, she does so much. And she said to me the other day, if you just turned off your phone, would any of it really matter? Like it doesn't.
No.
Like it really doesn't. And so I think, we have to realize that social media is a great tool to get things accomplished and accomplish goals and achieve things. But it's not reality.
Yeah.
It's not, it's a great tool. It's a great platform to have a voice and to say things, but please use your voice in a positive way. 'Cause we could collectively make a huge impact and make a lot of change if we all came together and worked together. But, if we continue to be divided, it will always stay that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, united we stand, divided we fall.
Correct,
They've been
ma'am.
saying it.
Yes, ma'am.
They've
I
been
feel like we
saying
need a theme song right,
Right.
there. Like that need to like something.
No, and there will also just be people who are dedicated to misunderstanding you. No matter what you put
Yeah,
out there, they
and
will
that's
be
fine.
dedicated to it. And so,
That's fine. We've all experienced
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
You can't win them all, and that's fine. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
There's a lot of good ones. You guys are good ones.
Well, just like I appreciate other people pouring positivity out there.
Yeah.
On my account, you're never gonna find me pouring hatred into
And that's
anybody
why you're
or
a nominee
anything.
again, because people recognize that, and that's the thing.
I don't think we've talked about that here, but not
We
only
have not
are
even
we
announced that.
nominees, but Mom's the Word is a
podcast
nominee, which
is
is really
nominated.
cool. Our podcast is nominated in media. Daddy J is nominated in
Motivational. For under 500,000. I am in parenting and motivational for over 1 million.
Yeah.
and I'm in vlogging. We're so happy to not be up against each other.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, why'd you drop the parenting categories down to 1?
I know we had to narrow it down. The show was too long last year, and
I was so curious. I'm like, wow.
we thought about so last year we had 41 categories, and we were like, yeah, this is going to be over a 3-hour show, and we were like, okay, maybe we can pull some of the categories and honor them during the weekend, and we're like, no, that's not fair. That's not fair to people that are coming to be on stage, and so we were so confused. So this year we're like, we gotta narrow it back down.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
So
Very
unfortunately,
cool.
but it'll work. It's still good.
Not nominations, but voting is currently open.
Yes, it is.
This will be airing at some point in December, so I do believe that voting will still be open at that
I think
point.
this is the last week of
Yeah.
December. This
So
is
if
the
you want to
last
vote
week.
for Mom's the Word,
Mom's the Word, please.
do it.
I have no comments, but
Yeah.
what they said.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Okay,
I'm
this
not
is
allowed
another-
to
This
vote.
was another thing.
Yeah, this is another thing. It says on y'all's website, people had mentioned that it says that even if there is a clear winner, that you guys still hold the rights to choose another one.
We have to put that in there because,
It's legal.
Yeah, sometimes, just to full transparency, sometimes, we have also a clause in there that you can't have a criminal record, can't have a felony. And if you do within the last 5
can't go
years.
whooping nobody's ass.
Yeah, you can't participate. And
How do you
sometimes
check that?
as much as we try to do,
slip
quote
through the
unquote.
cracks.
Yeah, and sometimes they do. And so we need to have that ability to be able to pull someone out if it comes down to that. They got past the rules and we didn't know. So, that's just full transparency. We have to have that clause in there, but we don't actually go in and be like, okay, yeah, we just don't,
That's why I
Paige,
didn't
I'm
win
taking
last
you out.
year. I was like, Danielle, if you could have picked the winner, I thought we were friends. I didn't even fucking win.
Right? If I could pick the winner, Paige, you know what I'm
Come on,
saying?
man.
No, I was
Would've been
against
easy.
her.
She would have picked Jay. Let's be for real.
Literally.
I know, right, Jay?
That's another thing is, how do y'all vet people for each category?
Yes, and so a lot of comments said how did this person win this category? They don't even really speak about this. So I was curious, do you guys go through and make sure that they are?
We do
part
our
of this
best.
Category?
We do our best. Yeah, we have a whole team of volunteers
Okay.
that goes through and looks at every single nominee. We had 1,400 nominees this
Wow.
year. It's no joke, guys. You think that this is a huge, giant warehouse of people. It's we have a board of 5. We have a vetting committee of 10. It's no joke, and they all have jobs and they all have
Yeah.
lives, and people think that these are TikTok committees of people, backstage doing stuff, and we're just doing the best we can.
Yeah.
It's just people take this really seriously,
Yeah.
really, really
I do.
seriously.
I take it so fucking serious.
And it makes me so happy that they think that this is the most immaculately professional run thing. But really, I'm sitting there on my couch on my laptop, trying to figure all this out with this amazing team of volunteers. And like I said, we're doing the best we can,
And anybody can be nominated, right? It just takes one nomination to be nominated?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just one nomination. You can even nominate yourself. Self nominations
Yes.
are a thing, and actually those make it easier for us. But yeah, you can nominate, and then we go through the vetting. The vetting team goes through and looks and Google searches. We search TikTok. We search social media platforms. See if there's any issues attached to your name. We see if there's any criminal arrest records attached to your name. Even though we ask that, people still sometimes don't divulge that information, unfortunately. So
That's wild. I had no idea.
yeah, it's happened almost every year. We find someone who doesn't let us know about stuff, and unfortunately, we have to stick to those rules.
Yeah.
And so it's a very positive show, and it is an award show, and it is honoring positive creators.
Yeah.
But it's not this giant, amazingly spectacular, professionally run thing. I mean, we came up with the idea. We wanted to celebrate people.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing while raising money as a charity event. That's it.
Yes.
I love it. I love your
That's
mission.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's wonderful. I think that's where it got lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
Is everybody was like, oh, this award show. And I'm like, no, mm-mm, it's for charity. It's
Yeah.
for charity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
mean, if-
TikTok award show is what people
Yeah.
are referring. I'm like, it's not even just for TikTok.
No,
First of all.
no. And actually, I despise that a little bit because it's not. It's it's thought to be that, and I don't want it to be. So
It's an incredible production, like down to like you can get it on certain networks. There's
Yeah.
always interviews held afterwards.
Yeah.
Y'all, I have met Edwin McCain and Paula Abdul from this. Okay.
yeah, I mean, there's been some incredible people who
I
have
have her
gotten behind
number.
us.
I could call her right now.
That's right.
That's
I know.
crazy. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
and that all happened very organically too. And
Yes.
she was like, should I tell the Paula Abdul story?
please, by all means, please do. Please tell it. Please tell it.
Oh my God. Okay, so
best moment of my life.
this is a great story.
Keep in mind, 2 days before I came to Vegas, I almost cut my toe off with a grill door. So when she's asking me all these things, I have like live 48-hour stitches across the top of my foot. And I was
yeah.
like, I don't give a fuck.
So-
Let the toe fall off.
Here's what happened. So I went to this this like, I don't even know what you would call it. It was like some sort of a group in LA, bunch of really, really rich individuals. They have like this family something coalition. And I was sitting there listening to a speech, and I look over, and out of my periph, I'm like, is that Paula Abdul? Like, is it Paula Abdul?
Start up now, tell me. Is
Yeah,
it really
I was like, is that really you, Paula? And I was like, okay, I think that's Paula. Play it cool. Like, Paula's awesome. Like, just don't even make eye contact. But then I like kept doing like the side periph thing, like I was like looking, and I look over, and I'm like, she's I was like, is she looking at me? And she was just like staring, like dead stare. Paula Abdul. Like from the next table. They were like tables like this, and it was like if she was at that bench over there, like that table, and she was just direct eye contact. And I'm like, and she smiles at me, and I'm like, I smile at her. And then I after the speeches are all done, I get up, and she comes over to me, and she's like, I have to tell you. She's like, you are so beautiful. And I was like,
I would pass out.
Stop. I was like, you're so beautiful. I was like, oh my God, you don't even know. She's so nice.
Very sweet.
And so, we got to talking, and I told her I had this idea that I'm going to do like this award show for social media. And she's like, I'll come. She's like, I'm there. And I'm like, what? I go, okay, yeah, that's great. And I was like, Paula Abdul coming to a year one Cheer Choice Awards. And so, no shit, she did.
She showed it.
And then she was like doing this dance with this other partnership that she had created, and that she needed dancers.
Yep.
And so last minute, I was like, who the hell can dance? I got to call people. So I'm like, okay, who do we have here? I was like, I got Mama Todd. No, I'm not Mama Todd. I was like, TikTok Mama. Yep. Like, Paige is here. I was like, I bet she would love to do it. Mm-hmm. So I called, and like within seconds, Paige is on the stage dancing with Paula Abdul.
That's so cool, though.
Yeah, I've never run faster in my life.
Yeah.
I get this call,
With
and
a
I'm standing there.
busted toe.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, right now? Okay.
I remember that call.
Let's go.
Okay, yeah, right now. And I hang up, and I was like, Mark, I have to go dance with Paula Abdul. And he was like, what? I was like, come on. Mark has a picture of her kissing his cheek. And I mean, like, that for him is like the highlight of his life.
When I first met her, she did that. And I thought I was the most
She's
special.
a kisser.
I thought I was the most special person
She's a kisser.
on the
She will
world.
hug you and kiss your cheek.
Yeah, I sent it to my mom and dad. I was like, Paula Abdul just kissed me on the cheek.
Yeah.
And then I see like all these other pictures of her kissing people on the cheek.
She's a kisser.
I was like, oh.
No, it was such an honor because not only did I get to dance with her, I was taught by her.
Yeah.
She led a dance and would teach us how to do this dance, and then we got to do it with her. And yeah, like I had to learn it in 6 hours, and was it good? Absolutely not. But I danced on stage with Paula Abdul.
Yeah.
Like that's like the epitome of like the cheer choice. Like it's just fun. You roll with it. Everyone's just down to do whatever.
I was full of cheer.
No.
There was so much
She was
cheer.
the most cheerful person
There
there.
was so much
Full of
cheer.
it. I mean, and then I won.
I love it.
I was like, this is the highlight. I don't even care if I win. Like, I danced with Paula Abdul, and I was just sitting there, and they called my category, and I'm just sitting there chilling, and then they were like, yeah, and you won. And I swear, I was like, what? I looked at my husband, I was like, what? Because I did not think I was winning my category at all, because I had larger creators in my category that had millions and millions of followers, and I did not at that point even have 1 million. So if you're a smaller creator and you have been nominated, trust me, that does not mean that you won't win. Because
our category alone last year, we had huge creators.
Yes, and I think the smaller creator,
he won.
Did win. I think it genuinely depends on how you connect with your following.
Absolutely,
it really does. And that's what the thing is like, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you know, you can just buy votes, which again, 100% goes to Spread the Cheer USA, but that actually allows smaller creators a chance too. And the funny thing is that when we go back over the years and when we get the results and we review, I got to tell you, and this is an inside thing, I'm just going to say it though, but like 90% of the winners are not because of paid votes.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, it is not.
Just support.
It is.
It's amazing.
It's just straight free votes that actually make the win. It happens like a couple times where someone...
They weren't saying, you can just pay for your own votes. I'm like, why would I go do that?
No, for real. I would make a donation.
Yeah, you can't vote for yourself.
Yeah, you cannot.
It takes, the system actually does remove those votes.
Yeah, so if you vote for yourself, it's like, bye.
I voted for y'all every other day.
Oh, that's nice.
If you can only vote for one person in that category, I would like just take turns. Like,
that is so not. I don't vote every day. I will say I'm not that girl that wakes up every day and does the votes.
Are we allowed to vote for Mom's the Word? No.
No.
But your husbands can.
I think it's time to bring Jay in real quick.
Yeah, I think so.
Hi guys, ¿cómo están?
Muy bien.
Bien,
Good
gracias.
job. I'm so excited.
Come here.
I learned a lot.
Get closer to the microphone. Talk. You gotta
Because I
do
can
some
come next
Marvin Gaye.
Okay. So I'm so excited. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from you. And so I think it's really nice. Obviously, last year was my first time attending the Cheer Choice, and I thought it was amazing.
Good.
I will say that from everything that y'all said, I think what you said, in everything that there is in life, there's good and bad, right? And I think that focusing on the good is obviously amazing, right? And I think that's what you have to do, because if you let the negativity get to you, then that's when it kind of starts bringing you down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially on social media, because Lord Almighty. And I swear every platform is completely different. My platform on TikTok is different, my Instagram and my Facebook, and the people and all of that is completely different. So I do love that, that it's focused on positivity. My question that I was thinking about, I understand that you were going through some tough times and you all of a sudden decided to turn what I would say pain into purpose.
Yeah.
So was that just like random, or did your family or someone instill the kind of that charitable thing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, where does that come from?
The most random shit ever. Yeah, never in a
That's
million
good.
years would I have thought, like, I'm going to go out and give back. No, never. I never, I'm not like a religious person, didn't go to church. Like, my parents don't do anything that, they're always very kind and nice and thoughtful and giving, but like, never like took us out to go feed at the soup kitchen or anything. Like, I've never done stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah, and I never had, but I always, saw people, and obviously was like, very giving and thoughtful growing up myself, but like, yeah, it just was a very, like, just came into my mind and my heart in that very moment, and it's just like it just was like meant to be, I guess. It was just a very organic moment.
Happened.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing, right? Because if you really think about it, like, anybody can do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
and
to
yes, exactly.
teach.
And I feel like a lot of people think that you have to have some sort of experience, like in corporate America or something, to make something happen, to make a change. And realistically, I mean, you just have to work hard at it, right? Like,
You just have to care.
work hard and get it done. And I think that's amazing that you've done something so small, and then now it's big,
Yeah,
right?
thank you.
So what's next?
Yeah, I don't know. Originally I had this 5-year plan to, spread to like other countries, Canada, just open up different like little, I guess, groups throughout. But I don't think we're going to do that yet. We've talked about other events. We have another idea for
Good.
another
things
event.
coming.
Yeah, it's in the works, and we've written books collectively together, which we brought in a bunch
Yeah.
of.
I saw
It's
that.
called The Social Spark, and it's about everyone's story.
Yeah.
And that's available on Amazon. We've done a bunch of things that probably a lot of people don't know about. And so, I think it's just going to continue to grow. The way that I operate and the way that I work is that I don't force anything. I don't, I'm very open to anyone giving me ideas or, but if something falls into my lap and it just feels right, I just go with it, and I will not stop until it comes to fruition. I'm very psycho that way.
That's good.
I'm a hard worker, and if I feel something is right in my heart and my soul, I don't stop until I see it through.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's amazing because, I mean, the reason I wanted to talk about it is because a lot of people assume that you have to be some sort of big creator or something in order to make a positive change, and realistically, you don't. And I think that, like, if someone is wanting to help out, especially around the holidays, right? I mean, even if you helped out one family, that's amazing, right?
Anything.
Is it amazing to help 5 families? Sure. But if you can only help one family, that's one family that has helped, and that's amazing. Let me toot on Cindy's horn for a little bit.
I heard.
Yeah, so Cindy has been doing a toy drive. This is her 4th year. And then last year I was like, okay, I'll be in Dallas and I'm going to join you guys. And so she has been, over 100 families in the 4 years. And so yesterday we posted our list to provide 40 families for Christmas. And these are children that are experiencing foster care, which we are both, I used to be a licensed foster parent. Now I just want to advocate. And Cindy is still a licensed foster parent. And in less than 12
hours.
12 hours, that list was gone.
That is
And
amazing.
I think it's amazing, and a lot of people have been messaging us, like, even when the list was finished, because they were like, the list is gone, I was about to order. And I'm like, listen, there's so many other places that you can help, right? And us as foster parents, I tell people all the time, you don't necessarily have to be a foster parent, right? There's other ways to support the community, and it just depends what is your niche or where is your passion, right? Obviously, we are foster parents, so that's where we bring the awareness to, but like, if your thing is women, right, and going to a women's shelter or homelessness or addiction, whatever it is, you can make that difference. And I think it was so wonderful that we were able to do that, because to make a change, you just have to start somewhere, right?
Anyone can do it.
And it doesn't have to be money.
No,
It does not have to be
it could
money.
be your
Something
time.
I literally have just done is I went through all of my clothes and just tried on clothes to see like what fits me, what doesn't fit me. Am I really going to wear this or am I not? And all the clothes that I'm no longer going to wear, I took to a women's shelter that is for women who are in recovery because they're going to court cases. They're trying to get jobs. They're trying to do all sorts of stuff. So there are other ways that you can help if you're thinking and listening to yourself right now. I can't afford to do that. There are so many different ways you can give back.
Yeah, and even when we posted our list yesterday, and I told people, if you were, like, sometimes we're all in different places in our lives where if you're in a place where you need the donations, right? Because people are like, wait, I can't buy anything. It's okay. You can like, you can comment, you can share, you can spread the word. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the trenches financially, right? There's so many other things that you can do. And everyone has been in different places in their lives where there's no shame in our game. There was a time where I was on the receiving end of donations and I needed my family's help. And then now we're at a point where we can help others, right? So I think that that's truly amazing that you just literally,
don't
like,
make it
so
fun.
random, like, literally, I think that's like even like makes the story even more,
Yeah.
because I was expecting like, oh yeah, my parents, or sometimes you would assume, right, that someone who started a nonprofit, right, like our friend Rebecca, she provides brand new pajamas to children experiencing foster care. And if you ask her, she just decided, she wanted to help. And so she started in her living room, and now it's like big. And it's like literally that's how change starts sometimes. It doesn't have to be something big. You can start small.
Well, that's what I'm
and it
saying.
could
Like,
grow.
you started with what, 3 families that you supported?
Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna locally go and
Yeah.
support 3.
I was saying, like,
Yeah.
for me, like, you might not think 100 families is a lot, but I'm like, that's a lot.
That's a
That
lot.
is. It's
Just
amazing.
helping one is important. So I think it's really cool. It's super motivational, right?
Yes.
I feel like it motivates all of us.
Yeah.
Like, you can help
Hopefully,
anyway.
it motivates the people listening.
Yes.
That's what we want.
Yes,
That's right.
hopefully.
I agree. Hopefully someone will take some sort of motivation from this, right, to go and help out others. Or maybe it's someone who might be embarrassed or not wanting to ask for help. Because sometimes that can be very like upsetting or just hard
It's
to
hard
ask
to
for
ask.
help. But I tell people all the time, like everyone goes through something, right? And I think like the thing about social media is like, for example, like influencers, they think that we have the perfect life or we must be rich or something.
Yes.
And it's like, that's far from the truth.
We're just
right?
people, man.
Yeah.
Everyone just goes
yeah.
to bed and puts their pants on and like,
Literally.
or sometimes you
I-
don't wear pants on.
Most of the time, no. If I do, I put them in the same way that you do.
Yeah, and so it's just trying to do whatever you can to have a good life and then help others.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you for being a good example.
Thank you. Yes. Love it.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Jay.
thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Jay out.
This was so fun.
It was such a good episode.
So motivational, you guys. That was
Yeah.
amazing.
You could do great things.
Yes.
Literally.
You can do it.
See us here every Thursday, you guys.
Every single one.
Keep those giggles going.
And the love flowing.
And until next time.
Mom knows best.
Or at least she's trying her best.
That's right.
Bye, guys.